So for saving name and tax percentage, what we'll do, we'll create a view model, although that is not actually a view model. We can name it some service as well if you want to, but let's use view model only. We'll call it, let's say, settings. Is it settings? But yeah, let's call settings view model. Public class settings view model, and here we are going to have a method public async value task initialize async, and we are going to have a private boolean property here, private bool underscore is initialized. And in this we will first check if this is already initialized. If underscore is initialized, we will return from here. If not, first thing we'll set is initialized to true, and after that what we will do, we will try to get username from preferences. I'm going to store the username in preference. So we'll say var name equals preferences dot default dot get. This will be of type string. Now let's say nullable string. We need to provide key and default value. So key, let's have some private constant here because we are going to use it for saving the username as well. So private const string name key equals name. Here we'll say key name key comma default value, we will have it as null. Then we'll check if name is null, this means we don't have name set yet. Okay, and we are opening it for the first time. In most of the cases this will do. So what we will do here, we will say name equals shell dot current dot display prompt async. We will prompt title will be, let's say, your name, message, enter your name, placeholder we can leave it, cancel, okay, we can leave all other things. Okay, we need to await it. Now we check for this name. If user might click on cancel, or user might simply add empty spaces, just pressed space. So in that case, name is required for our application to run. So we want to be sure that name is provided. So here what we can do, we can again check if string dot is null or white space name. Then we need to display the same thing again. And we need to keep on doing this because we don't know how long we need to keep on doing this thing. So this is a valid candidate for a loop, that is, do this, keep on doing this name equals prompt till when we don't have this value, till when we don't have this value. So this is a valid candidate for a do while loop. Okay, so we'll say do this. For the first time it will come here, it will ask for it, and you need to keep on doing this while the name is null or white space. Okay, so for the first time it will come name is null from the preferences, we don't have name saved in the preference. It will come here, display prompt. If user press cancel, it will come here, it will check, okay, it is empty. It will again going to show this prompt, again going to ask for it. If we pressed empty spaces, press ok, then it will come here, check it again. It will keep on prompting this until we provide some value, some name to it. And when we have that name, it will save that name to this name. It will come here, check in while, it will be failed, it will not pass this condition because now we have name, and it will simply going to execute the next code of block. It will simply skip this because now the execution of this is completed. Okay, so here we are sure that name is provided. Then we will simply set that name to this preference. So preferences dot default dot set string name key and this name. Now we are good. Okay, now from here we need to send the information that we have this name saved to the home view model. Okay, so here also we can use weak reference messenger. So we'll say weak reference messenger dot default dot send. Now we need to send a message. We need to define that message, and this time the message is going to be name changed message. So let's go to our models where we have menu item changed message. So the same way I'm going to create one more class, public class name changed message. It will be value changed message of type string. Define the constructor, and then let's have the same helper method, public static name changed message from string value name new value, and let's move this to its separate file. Move type to name changed message.cs. Now this is in models only. Okay, let's use this in our settings view model. From here we will simply send name changed message dot from this name, save it, and now we are good. Okay, now we are doing this outside of this because when we are opening the application for the first time, if name is already in the preferences, then also we need to pass this name to the home view model so that it can display that hello and then name. Okay, so name change is fine. Let's clean this up and we are good. Now we need to register the settings view model. There will be only single instance of this throughout the application. So we'll go to MAUI program.cs, and in here we will say add singleton, and this settings view model. Save it, and now we are good. Now comes when should we call this initializing. Okay, the best place could be when we are starting the app in app.xaml or in app.xaml. Now the problem here would be we don't have app shell here. Then we have app shell as well. From here we need to check when it is coming here. Now there is a problem with prompts. So for display prompt it does not work here. The reason I'm not sure, but the reason might be right now it just does not know about the proper dimension, proper place where to display the prompt, or maybe shell is not completely rendered or initialized. That's why what we will do, we need to go to our pages and main page.xaml.cs because this is the first place which comes this constructor, and inside this constructor as well it does not know about all these things. So here after this constructor we have one method that is on appearing, but in on appearing also it executes before the rendering. So this time also the display prompts does not work, it throws errors and or it does not just show anything. So we have one more event that is on size allocated. So when this on size allocated, it has the proper dimension and everything related to the screen and all. So now we can display or we can show our prompt here inside this thing. Okay, so here what we'll do, we need to have this base dot on size allocated width and height, because it does all these update children layout and all these things. So after using this base size allocated, here we can initialize our settings view model. So for that, we need to inject it in our main page. So settings view model, after on size allocated, we'll say await settings view model dot initializing. Okay, inside this we will see if it is already initialized, it will simply return from here. If it is not, it will set it and get the name from the preferences. After that, it will trigger this message. Now we need to get this message and display it. So in order to get this message, we need to go to home view model, because home view model is the place where we want this. So let's go to our home view model. In home view model, we are going to have an observable property for name. So we'll say private string underscore name with a default value of, let's say, blank, or let's use guest. And here it will be observable property. Save it. Now when we got response from this week message from this week reference messenger for name changed message. So for this one, I'm going to use that second approach without iRecipient. Here I'll say week reference messenger.default.register name changed message. Okay, this is the recipient, and then this recipient comma name, or let's say name message. This is going to be message actually. Now we have this. Inside this, what we will do, we will say name dot, or let's say name equals message dot value, because this is the name. Okay, and this name is this name. Now we have this name. We can go to our main page.xaml and we can display the name here. This is an empty label, right? Why am I having this? LBL, am I using this somewhere? LBL without any styling. Okay, let's leave it like this. Or you can clean this up if you want to. Here we have this text hello, then Abhay Prince name. Instead of this, we will bind this to that name. So binding name. And we need to prefix hello. So we'll say comma string format equals, first we'll say hello, comma, then we'll do this curly braces 0. This would be the name coming in this binding. Okay. All right, we don't need to change anything here. So save it when we'll open it for the first time. Now when we say first time, that means right now I'm opening it. It will keep on asking me my name. Okay, it is asking me. If I press cancel, it will again do this, and here the name is hello guest, and it will keep on asking me my name. I'll say okay, then also it will not allow me to go further than this. If I press spaces, press okay, then also it will not allow me. Okay, now let's provide my name, and then if I press okay, now I will have this name. If I close the application, open it again, this time it should directly get my name. Now we are not sure if this is the right name because we already had that, but it is because in here we are actually setting this binding name, so it is coming from there only, from preferences. All right, cool, name is fine. Now this text percentage, let's say right now I'm saying 10%, I'm pressing okay, If I close it and run the application again, it is again set back to 0. What we should do, we should save this text percentage in preferences again. Okay, let's do this. And for this error, if you have joined later, so we have this timer going on to display the timer. When we close the application like this, we are in debug mode. It is not able to figure out this. The timer runs after application is closed. That's why it is trying to set this date time label, but this does not exist now. That's why it is showing these exceptions, but we are okay. So this is just in debug case. It will not be in release mode or any error there. But still, if you want to try it, you can simply have try catch block here. It will handle that. But this is not a some exception which is going to break anything or anything like that. That's why I simply skip this application, this exception. All right. So now for our tax percentage in home view model only, we should be saving the tax percentage somewhere. Tax percentage click async. We have this tax percentage here. Okay. So after showing this tax percentage here, we should save it in preferences. And when we are opening this home view model is coming up in here, or maybe in initialization phase. In initializing, we should get the percentage, this tax percentage from preferences, from our settings view model. Here we'll say get tax percentage from preferences. Okay, so initial tax percentage. Okay, so let's do this. Let's go to settings view model, where it is. Here we are going to have two methods. One is public string get tax percentage. Here we'll say preferences dot default dot get. This will be int and the key. So let's create one more key here. So instead of name key, this time we'll say tax percentage key, and name could be anything. So get tax percentage key, comma, default value, we'll have 0 as default. Okay, what is the issue? It returns int. Okay, it should return int. Yeah, so we have get, then we would have set as well. So public void set tax percentage, and here we will get tax percentage as a parameter, and this time we'll say dot set tax percentage key and this tax percentage. Save it, and we should be good now. So here we need to get it. Tax percentage equals underscore. We don't have settings view model here. Okay, let's inject it, settings view model. Settings view model, and here, okay, we should not have it here because this might skip if it is already initialized. So we would do this in constructor only. Okay, and this line is also this name change. This is single line, so there is no point of having this body block. We will just have this expression body method. We are good with this. Get tax percentage from preferences, so we'll say tax percentage equals underscore settings view model dot get text percentage. Okay, and then when we are showing the text percentage, we'll say underscore settings view model dot set text percentage. With this, enter the text, save it, save everything. Let's run it. Okay, right now it's 0. Let's change it to 10. Press OK, close, open it again. This time it should populate with 10. You see 10%. It is already 10% and it is getting applied on the amounts. Now let's do this. Let's change this 10 to 5%. Press OK. Amount got updated here. Close it. Open it again. It should be 5% now. 5%. Okay. So the saving that tax percentage is also working. Getting name is also working. I guess we are good with everything now, right? All right, so now I guess we are good with everything. Now let's quickly see this on Mac OS. Okay, so open this application on Mac desktop and we'll see if something needs to be changed or updated. Then we'll make changes on there. Okay, so let's move on to my Mac. If you don't have Mac or you don't want to continue or on Mac, then you are good. You can simply stop it here and you will be good to go. All right.